to the Daily Ascent. I'm Molly Carmel, and this is the podcast I always wish existed. A bite-sized, on-the-ground spiritual note that can shift your thinking and your outlook on life to help make us all a little bit more awake, alive, and ascending. So today I want to talk about something that happened at a retreat that I hosted recently that am really pondering because it reminded me of something I believe in deeply and I always have to relearn. That underneath all of our different stories and all of our different struggles, we are all really longing for the exactly the same thing. So I hosted a retreat at my house. It was amazing. And the women who came knew each other pretty well. They've known each other for a long time. They've all been in a group together. And they came in carrying very different things, very different circumstances, very different struggles in very different places in their lives. And so from the outside, you might have looked at them and thought, what in the world is the common thread here? Like, what does this room have in common? And so I opened the retreat with some sound healing and some grounding work. And at the beginning of us doing like the circle work, right? When we were really sitting in our circle, the first question that I asked my group was, what did you bring with you that you didn't intend to? Let me say it again. What did you bring with you that you didn't intend to? And each one of them independently said some version of the same thing. A mask, a show, a version of themselves that wasn't quite true. And of course, like they hadn't planned to bring it. They didn't even fully know that they were wearing it until I asked that question, right? But there it was in black and white, in black and white in color in my living room. And what I watched happen over the course of that retreat was so gorgeous. I mean, I get to witness really beautiful stuff in my jobs, but this was beyond. Slowly, carefully, one by one, I watched these women put it down, right? I watched them put down their performance, the part that they'd each been playing, right? The version of themselves that they thought was required to be loved, to be received, right? The face that they showed up with, that careful management of how they were perceived, even by people that they knew like really loved and cared about them. They came in performing, and over the course of the retreat, they got to stop. And what happened when they stopped, I think is what always happens. The room got real quiet and the room got real, and it filled up in a way that it hadn't before. Because what was underneath all of their very different stories was actually completely identical. They all wanted the same thing. They had always wanted the same thing: intimacy, right? Into you see me, intimacy. To be truly known and to be received exactly as they were, without performance and without management of the room and without having to be the version of themselves that they thought was required in order to be loved. And oh my goodness, Ascenders, did they get it? Did they get it? All weekend, all in my sweet little house with me, with each other. And I thought, oof, this is it. This is the whole thing. We are so much more the same than we are different. And we are so much more the same than we ever let ourselves believe. And so that brings me to our pocket sage today. And oldie, we talk with him a lot, and I love him. Henri Nouwen's book, Bread for the Journey. And here's what he says. This is by the way, I just want to say, Bread for the Journey is a daily meditation book, and I love a daily meditation book so much. And I just always want to encourage you to read one or two every morning. Great way to shift what you're looking at for today. So here's what he says in Bread for the Journey. We become neighbors when we are willing to cross the road for one another. There is a lot of road crossing to do. We are all very busy in our own circles. We have our own people to go to and our own affairs to take care of. But if we could cross the road once in a while and pay attention to what is happening on the other side, we might indeed become neighbors. Let me read that again for those of you in the back. We become neighbors when we are willing to cross the road for one another. There is a lot of road crossing to do. We are all very busy in our own circles. We have our own people to go to and our own affairs to take care of. But if we could cross the road once in a while and pay attention to what is happening on the other side, we might indeed become neighbors. It's a goodie. It's a goodie, right? Cross the road and pay attention to what is happening on the other side. I mean, it's really what those women did for each other. They crossed the road, they paid attention, and they found out what was happening on the other side was exactly what was happening inside of themselves. And so today's word of the day is true. True, as in the true self, the one that's underneath the performance, the one that exists before you've decided how you need to show up, the one that exists before you've calibrated how much to share, and before you've put on the version of yourself that you think the room requires. Because that reading is saying that real connection, the kind that actually feeds and sustains us, only happens when we cross the proverbial road, when we leave the safety of our own carefully managed circle, inner circle, and we let someone see what's actually happening, not the performance, the true thing. And honestly, what I find so moving about what happened in that retreat room is the true thing, right? Because when it finally came out, it turned out that every single person was dealing with the same thing. The longing was the same. The exhaustion of the performance was the same. The desire to be known, like really known, not just liked or approved. It was the same in every single person there. And it's really and honestly, if I was a participant, I would have said the same thing. I really would have. Because it's the most human thing that there is. And so here's what I want us to think about today. I mean, the performance is exhausting you, right? The intimacy you're longing for is likely on the other side of putting it down. And listen, I struggle with this too. I often think about how much energy goes into the management of how we're perceived, even and maybe especially with the people who know us the best, right? The editing, the calibrating, the deciding in advance what's safe to share and what needs to stay hidden. I think we do this so automatically and so constantly that we don't even know we're doing it. It just feels like what it is to be in a room with a bunch of people. But it's not connection, not really. Because you can't be truly received by someone if they're only receiving your performance, right? And you can't feel truly known if what they know is the managed version of you. And what the women on this retreat discovered is, and honestly, I watch people discover it over and over and over in this kind of work, is the thing you are most afraid to show is almost always the thing that creates the most intimacy when you do. I mean, that's what intimacy is, right? It's really showing the ugliest parts and having someone say, yeah, totally, right? And whether it's that longing you think is too much, or that neediness that you think is too much, or that thing you think is too embarrassing to admit out loud, someone across the room is carrying it too, mark my words. And they've been carrying it quietly, just like you, waiting for someone to say it first. And that's the reading is about crossing the road, not like crossing the road from your house to the other house, but crossing the road from your internal self to someone else's internal self, right? And the profound relief of being truly known by another person, when we strip everything else away, is what all of us are longing for. Mark my words, every single one of us. And more than we ever let ourselves believe. So here's my reflective question for the day. Where are you performing right now, and what might become possible if you let someone see what is actually true? And I mean, ascenders, if I know you, I'm sure today piqued your interest in my sacred retreats. And I don't blame you, they're awesome. And stay tuned for more information on them. I'm getting my next one ready. I'm getting 1-day retreats ready. So you will hear about it from me. Promise you that. And also, just to say, if the performance you've been carrying shows up really loudly in your food and your body and your relationship with dieting and all of the everything in between and that exhausting cycle of starting over, please talk to me about this amazing program that I run, the Stop Starting Over system. It is built exactly for this. And I want to see you, all of you. So book a discovery call. The link is in the show notes. And if you want to learn more about it, you can go to mollycarmel.com. And I am right here with you, Ascenders, crossing the road, putting down the performance, and finding out how much we have in common. And listen, if this is landing with you, can you please, please intimately share it with those that you love, intimately share it with those that you don't love? You know, we want to grow this Ascender crew. The more, the merrier, because we rise together. Until next time.